still May 23rd, or it is May 23rd. So I was supposed to go get my test done, my Planned Parenthood, which sucks, by the way, because the person who took my call didn't actually make the appointment, even though they told me that the appointment was made. So I went there and they told me that they didn't make it. So they made another appointment that I have to do a phone call interview before. Actually, I'm like, but I already did one. And so they're like, oh, it's just procedure, whatever, right? She was nice about it. So I said, fine, whatever. It was supposed to be done today. They didn't call me. I'm gonna freaking call them back right now. It was supposed to be an hour ago. So I was waiting. I got me and I was busy doing my notes in the car. But after that experience, I was like, okay, minus brownie point for, you know, Planned Parenthood, right? I was like, I was really rooting for you guys. No. So during that time, I was like, still thinking, okay, it's really early, it's 8:30, what am I gonna do? So I saw that there was a beach nearby, and I wanted to check it out. So I took the trail, and it was beautiful. It took me right across, and I saw it was nurseries. It was beautiful, and I got to the beach. I was like, I think this is gonna be my beach, and it was empty. But then I looked at the time, I'm like, let me get back, because I wanted to make sure I found good parking. And the whole time I'm still thinking about yesterday, still thinking about that, and just, you know, reflecting on what I wrote and what I posted, and just, right, this element of like, who will listen, right? I'm thinking about my client who recognized, she's just like, when she jumped, I don't know, I think I might have mentioned it, she jumped timelines. She was watching it from the beginning, and then she came across one of the newer ones. She was like, that's a different Yubi. And she didn't understand why, and I explained to her. I said, you know, you're watching me become who I am. And so when you watch me every day, you don't see the change, but there's change. It's more apparent when there's a gap. You know, like when you go see your kids or your nieces and nephews, and when you're there every day, you don't see the change, but they're changing. But you see it after you have a gap. I'm not seeing them for a while. And then just thinking about like the package that got stolen, and just everything, right, being half-assed yesterday. As great of an experience as it was, just thinking, I'm like chewing on it, thinking about these other freaking well-being videos that I was listening to, the one I listened to. And there was one that Abraham Hicks talked about, this element of it's this whole concept of vibration. I stayed up late listening to the one they posted recently. It's an old post, but it's made into cartoons. It's just easier for me to digest. But they were saying, it was an older one, and I could tell it was an older one because the sound of their voice was different. And they were talking about how, you know, we don't get that we're vibrational beings. And so everything we attract is based on our vibration, which is connected to our emotions. And so if you're feeling crappy, guess what? You're going to attract crappiness. So I'm thinking about it. And then just thinking about the videos that I was watching, that I'm preparing, because tonight's the last one, so I'm uploading the next ones. And there's one where I have a dream that I'm on the college campus, and that I have so much confidence. I don't remember that part. The feeling that I was so confident. I remember the details. And there was an element of confidence, of them wanting to wear my jacket. And I was like, go ahead. And I do remember waking up feeling like, see if you can try to wear my jacket, because I know who I am. And as much as you try to be me, you won't be me. So, just thinking about that. And just thinking about my healing and just this whole freaking process, right? And the video that posted was knowing my why. Why am I doing this, right? No, his as much as it started off being, it is still about you, but not so much anymore. This is about me and what I'm deserving of. What I'm deserving of. Everything I've gone through and everything I'm gonna track from here on out, I'm going to make sure that I'm not settling. That's what it was yesterday. It wasn't about emotional settling for people. It was settling for tangible things. That's the consistency. It's the tangible, right? Because even today, as I was driving to the beach, I was in San Mateo. That's where the Planned Parenthood was. I was like, oh, I like this city. It looks nice. It reminds me of home. Like downtown, like Pomona area, like that. Garvey, like just the way everything was set up. It reminds me of, it's familiar. So I looked it up. It's pretty pricey. It's like double what I'm paying right now. I was like, oh, sit down. And then immediately I caught the thought that I couldn't afford it. And I was like, thinking, Yubi, you found a way to get here. You found a way to get here. You can do this. And then when I took that trail to cut across to get to the beach, Half Moon Bay, I think it's called, something like that. And I saw trailer homes. I said, oh, it'd be nice to have my own little space, right? Well, I don't have to worry about parking. Well, I don't have to worry about the mail. Like, I could work from home. A cute little community of trailers. And then from there, I actually went in to a bigger community of homes and thinking, oh no, this is nicer. This is nicer. And these beautiful homes, literally walking distance from the beach. And then I started thinking about another message that Abraham Hicks talked about, right? That we're constantly expanding the reason for pain so we can desire something more, something better, and we're all at different levels. And then I started thinking about that. How we're all at different levels of pain, different levels of discomfort, right? Not knowing that we're creating it, right? Because we're unaware. Because we lost trust within ourselves. Because that's what I was thinking of walking home. I was thinking about communities. Why? I was thinking about another client. I mentioned, why is it that Hispanic communities, Latino communities don't get it? They don't get it. And then other communities are you know, because he's Latino, but he's surrounded by a lot of white people. And then we're talking about the mindset. And I'm listening to him talk. And then his wound is the wound of humanity. I'm thinking. And I'm like, yeah, well, we all have different purposes, right? But it goes back to self-worth. It goes back to the self-worth and what it has. Because I was even watching a lady con su cosita, like she was selling churros and stuff. And I'm like, she's probably in a better place than she was before. Because she envisioned and she wanted it, right? For herself, for her family, her why. I mean, people expand once they know what their why is, right? They do what it takes to reach their goals. So I'm thinking about just globally, right? I'm thinking about communities and thinking about them walking by, and there's a lot of unhoused people, just thinking about their journeys, and I'm feeling with rage. I'm getting angry. That a lot of this is because of the intergenerational trauma, because trauma interrupts your ability to trust yourself. And so then you question yourself, you question your abilities, you question your self-worth. You question your self-worth. It's thinking about the communities. I'm like, well, that's why, right? Years of intergenerational trauma, colonization, and just It just pisses me off. And then when people try to help one another, because that's what my client says, he's like, I try to help them, but they don't get it. They don't get it. And I'm like, well, maybe they're not supposed to get it, right? And they're not, because it's not on their path. They're not there yet. And so what do? You focus on you. You become one less person stuck. That's what you do. You become one less person stuck. And once you're aware, you pick up on the pattern and you get yourself out. You get yourself out. This is no longer about settling for less than what's deserving of, whether it's tangible, intangible, love, or something you can touch. Because I'm worth it. I'm worth it. This is for me. For me. The difference between me and other people who did it their way without the compassion is that I know what it's like. I know what it's like to feel pain. Because I have enough. And I was thinking about that too. I'm like, how is it that I just have a whiff of experiences, right? All these thoughts are like coming in all at the same time. I'm processing it. And it's purposeful. And I keep saying it's purposeful. So that I can connect with as many people as I can. So that when they speak their truth, I know what it's like. I could see their life. I could see their truth through their eyes. That's why. But at the end of the day, it's my self-worth. It's my only worth. And I'm not gonna let anybody take that away from me anymore. I won't. It doesn't matter for what reason. I won't. Not anymore. People could listen or they don't. I don't care. People will choose what they want to choose. This is my story. This is my truth. This is my becoming.
Hi, my name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us, in whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth. This just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me.